This was my very first keto pizza breakthrough. Then I developed a Little Caesars crazy bread that was almost like the real thing. And now I've crafted what I believe is the best thin crust, ketogenic, and carnivore pizza you will ever taste. First, let's start with a nut or seed-based crust. Now for this first variation, we're going to be adding 1/2 cup water, followed by 1/2 cup shredded mozzarella cheese. Next, we'll be using almond flour, but I also will show you some made with pecan flour and sachi seed. But no matter which one you use, you'll need 1/2 cup. And last, we'll add 3 tablespoons egg white protein powder. By using protein powder, it boosts the protein content and helps give the crust structure. But don't worry, if you don't have egg white powder on hand, the second recipe doesn't use it at all. Now, line a cookie sheet or baking tray with parchment paper and set it to the side. Then blend all your ingredients in the NutriBullet or food processor. Make sure all your dry ingredients are fully mixed before pouring it onto your parchment paper. Now, unfortunately, because I was filming, I took too long and this thickened up too much. This is a batter you need to work with very quickly. This demonstrates how tough it can be to spread this out if you wait too long. Let's just say there was a whole lot of shaking going on to get this to level out. And while the dough was a consistent thickness, it wasn't very round. Now we're going to bake it in a preheated oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. Go ahead and use your spatula to break the edges and then give it a good flip. Throw it back in the oven for additional 5 to 7 minutes. Now I'm going to stop at this step because I'm freezing these, but normally I'd put it back on the rack, top it, and then cook it for an additional 5 to 7 minutes. Now here's those pizzas I promised. This was made on a pecan flour crust. And I made this one with a sachi seed crust. Alright, as promised, this version uses real eggs instead of egg white protein powder. Now for this version, we're going to start with 1/3 cup water. Then add 1/3 cup liquid egg white, followed by 1/2 cup mozzarella cheese. Give it about 5 or 6 quick pulses in your NutriBullet or food processor. And while this almost looks like milk, those pork rinds will absorb the moisture in here quickly, so you have to move fast. Now you're going to add 1/3 cup rind flour. Again, moving quickly, but making sure that you get this well mixed. Now add the mixture to your parchment paper. Then, holding your parchment paper and tray, try to shake it out in a circular motion. If it's too thick, go ahead and spread it out evenly with your spatula. And if you want to tidy it up like I did, you can go ahead and clean up the edges. Then place it in the oven at 375 for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, as you can see here as I pull this back, notice this begins to crack. This is not fully done. I only cooked it 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and place this back in and cook it for an additional 5 minutes. Now, after the 15 minutes total on that one side, you can see the flexibility is good and it doesn't break. Now, I want you to notice all the steam coming off of this. This is the difference between using egg whites and egg white protein powder. Place it back in the oven for 5 minutes, and as you see here, this would be the time to top it, but again, I'm going to be freezing this one as well. But so you don't miss out, here's an actual pizza I made using this particular crust. As they say, I saved the best for last. And this method really is the best one to use across all 3 versions. It might not be the fastest, but the texture and structure you get is worth the extra effort. Start by adding 1/2 cup of water to a mixing bowl, followed by 3 tablespoons egg white protein powder. Using a hand mixer, whip it until you reach light peaks. You'll notice the mixture stays loose and floats. That's exactly what you want. Next, in your NutriBullet, add 1/2 cup shredded mozzarella. In a separate container, measure out 1/2 cup rind flour and set it to the side. Now, give the mozzarella 3 or 4 quick pulses in the NutriBullet. You're aiming for a soft shred consistent, not fully blended, like this. Now add in your 1/2 cup rind flour, and at this point there's no need to pulse it again. Just put the lid on and give it a good shake. Then add the mixture to your whipped egg whites. Use your hand mixer, but do not overmix this. As you see here, I only mixed this for like 12 seconds. You don't want to overmix it, you want it to be this consistency. Once it's this consistency, go ahead and spread it out on your parchment paper. And as you see here, a little shaking ain't gonna go a long way with this particular one. You're gonna have to pull that spatula out. Also, when spreading the mixture, don't stress about any holes that pop up. That's totally normal. Just focus on shaping the outer edge first to get the diameter you want. Once that's set, you can start smoothing it out from the center outward. And if you're like me, go ahead and tidy up those edges for a cleaner final look. Place it in the oven at 375 for 10 minutes, then give it a quick flip and cook it for another 5. After that, transfer it to your tray, add your toppings, and return it to the oven for an additional 5 to 7 minutes. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.